Day, everybody, and welcome back to the Work Week. It is Monday. We are coming to you live from Harmon. I'm Jason Salas. This is the HotSpot, and here's what we're working on today.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
On today's show, a 57-year-old man is dead after drowning over the weekend. Also, a presentation is being held at Customs in Teason this morning. We'll take you there in just a few moments. Hearings over the January 6th event continue, and we're also going to bring you your weekly weather forecast. Well, tragic news tops our show is with the assistance of the HSC-25 helicopter unit and the Coast Guard. Rescue units from the fire department recovered the body of a 57-year-old man at 6:11 p.m. last night after being found approximately 300 feet outside the reef. GFD says at around 3:52 Sunday, units were dispatched to a report of a missing swimmer at Tengisan Beach. The victim was transported to GMH. Well, we are now taking you over to Teason, where a presentation is being made to welcome the newest members of the Customs team to sniff out drugs, literally, that are coming into our airport. Hannah Devonzo obviously is standing by and joins me right now. Hi, Hannah.
Jason, it's no secret there's a serious drug problem on island, and to further prevent the issue, Guam Customs has just received 4 canine dogs. Now, these dogs will be stationed at the airport and the Port Authority of Guam. As you can see behind me, a presentation will be starting shortly showing off these new dogs, but we'll bring you the full details tonight on Primetime. Reporting to you live from Teason, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
All right, the government's current fiscal status also came up in a separate discussion at the emergency session, with Minority Leader Chris Dueñas saying before they decide on spending another $25 million from the general fund for power bill credits, they need to know if the general fund itself still truly has a surplus.
Senator Dueñas referenced the financial statements audit released this week by Public Auditor B.J. Cruz. They indicate that the general fund ended fiscal year 21 in the black by $30 million, the first surplus since 2013. But Dueñas said in deliberating on the GPA credit bill, they need to take into account how much was actually expended of all the legislative appropriations that were passed since then.
The audited financials were in 2021, $79.2 million above adopted revenues. But the final number is $30.5 million. Obviously, there was deficit elimination. Bills that we don't know what was paid, they were paid. So if we appropriated close to $79 million of that excess revenue after everything's closed and the audit goes forward, and we only have $30.5 million of audited revenue, there is a suspicion that there could be a $40 million deficit.
Public Auditor B.J. Cruz's response?
I think if financial management does the controls, they can stay within the budgeted amount and any excess that might be received as a result of the revenue projection being as low as it was.
But Dueñas reiterated his point that he's not so sure the legislature hasn't already appropriated beyond whatever surplus was available.
Because you have no control over what the governor does. The governor can say, absolutely, all those bills passed, all that money's encumbered, all that money's expended. But if you appropriate it to 79 and the audited revenue available is only 30.5, you got a 40 million plus deficit. So you got to carry that forward and take that in consideration, because as you said, the CRER will adjust if this bill passes.
And on that note, he said, expect some amendments from him come Monday. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
More local news in just a moment, but former President Trump and his allies remain unapologetic despite evidence presented Thursday during the latest January 6th House Select Committee hearing and centered on what the former commander-in-chief did as the attack on the Capitol was underway.
How do you feel about going to jail?
Former Trump aide Steve Bannon gave an interview to Fox News host Tucker Carlson last night after he was convicted of 2 counts of contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with congressional subpoenas to testify before the January 6th committee.
I will never back off. I support Trump and the Constitution, and I'm not backing off 1 inch. If I go to jail, so be it.
Thank you very much.
The former president held a rally last night in Arizona for gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake. where he criticized the January 6 hearings.
Just a horrible thing that's going on in our country. It's sick.
Thursday night, the January 6 committee presented evidence that the former president watched the attack unfold on television instead of stopping it.
He betrayed his oath of office and was derelict in his duty.
They gained access to the second floor.
New audio of Secret Service agents charged with protecting Vice President Pence captured the terror and danger that day.
There were calls to say goodbye to family members, so on and so forth.
The committee will hold more hearings in September. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The committee is also investigating deleted messages from Secret Service agents during the attack. The director of the agency says he's told his staff to cooperate with police. All right, Guam news once again. As for this week's question, we're asking if you are in fact voting in the Democratic primary, if you have registered and you do plan on voting, whom will you support? Governor Lou Leon-Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, of course the incumbents, or Congressman Michael Nicholas and former journalist Sabrina Salas-Matanani. Let us know on Instagram and Facebook. All right, speaking of bites, we are in the final week of our giveaways with Uno Go, giving you the chance to win $25 in delivery credit on the Uno Go network of restaurants and retailers. Here is today's question from our friends at Savage Sandwiches down in Tuma. Man, they got good stuff there at Savage Sandwiches. All right, I need to know which of these is not a sandwich on the Savage Sandwich menu on Uno Go. Is it the Clucker? And it's spelled just like that. The T is not capitalized. The Clucker. Or is it Truff Deluxe? Could it be Spam Sandwich? And with the G, that does make it local. Spam Sandwich. Or D, see, we go extra on the show. We don't say all of the above. We say they're all on the menu. So is it A, the Clucker, B, Truff Deluxe, C, Spam Sandwich, or D? All of these menus are all on Savage Sandwiches menu. Are they all there? Let us know, and you could possibly win $25 to go towards your next delivery from our friends at Uno Go. And you know, next time you order from Savage Sandwiches, tell them the link, or tell them HotSpot. That's the name of this show. Tell them HotSpot sent you. Still getting used to that, apparently. They're good people down there, and they work really hard. They make really, really good food. All right. Speaking of bites, another round of news bites for you now as the latest promotions, celebrations, and much more happening on Guam. GRMC awarded Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. Also, a 2018 Ukadu High grad is serving as in the U.S. Navy as part of the world's largest international maritime warfare exercise. Petty Officer 3rd Class Skylar Michael Nicholas is a retail services specialist aboard the USS William P. Lawrence operating out of Pearl Harbor. University of Guam researcher Romina King is on a team of 17 game developers and scientists who has received NASA Group Achievement Award for developing a video game application to help NASA classify and assess the health of coral reefs around the world. And the U.S. Army Recruiting Command Portland Battalion Guam Recruiting Company was recognized by the Army Chief of Staff in Washington as a result of their recruiting efforts for fiscal year 2022. It's the second year in a row that Guam Company achieved the recognition. U.S. Army Captain Maria Bias, a native of Guam, is from Agate and is the first female commander for the Guam Recruiting Company. Well, tell you what, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we are going to talk about more things military and recruiting and how you can help defend our nation. I got Captain Mark Scott in Zoom. That is coming up when the HotSpot returns.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Snacks. We got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk. Gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check guamchildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
guamchildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the Hub on KUAM News HotSpot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
We're serving up lunchtime giveaways with Uno Go throughout the month of July on KUAM News Hotspot. Watch us live on KUAM TV 8 or any device at 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday for the daily foodie trivia question. Share your answers in the comments on the Facebook live stream or by sending us a direct message via the KUAM News or Uno Go Guam Instagram accounts. Correct answers will be placed into a random weekly drawing for the Uno Go credit of $25. No purchase necessary. Must be a Guam resident or registered Uno Go user to win. Visit uno-go.com or download the app to register and get food delivered to your home or office today.
All right, welcome back. The Hotspot continues right here. Yes, it is called the Hotspot. I finally got that right. And joining me now in the KUAM News Zoom room is Captain Mark Scott. He is a public affairs officer with the Guam National Guard. Cap, Hafaday and good morning. Last time I saw you actually was face-to-face, but about from maybe like 60 feet away, was at the Liberation Parade. So first of all, absolutely fantastic job with you, like helping out and also representing the with the Guard, all there in uniform, the marching units, the gear that you guys brought. Fantastic job.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jason. Half a day and good morning, everybody. You know, it was so much fun to be out there after a couple of years, just being with the people, smelling all the barbecue smoke and just being a part of the festivities. You know, it's what we're all about. It's probably the most proud time of the year for us. And it was just our honor to be out there, really.
Now, you've emphasized this, Cap, like over the years, you know, so important to any military unit is the concept of esprit de corps, right? Teamwork, you know, cohesion, chemistry, however you want to phrase it, right? Given the fact that, you know, it's not like your units have not stopped marching and, you know, not stopped serving. I mean, you guys are always on guard. But given the fact that they were actually able to participate in the Liberation Parade now for the first time in almost 3 years, and, you know, so many of the Guam Guards, you know, they were born and raised here. I mean, this is their DNA. It's in our blood, and our obligation as Guamanians to participate. Did they give any feedback to you about what that meant to them to be able to march?
Yeah, this year was a little bit more special. Not that other years weren't special, Jason, but like we said, we're coming out of COVID for the past couple of years. And a lot of these soldiers and airmen had a direct impact on the outcome of this pandemic. You remember the past couple of years, they were really engaged with administering vaccines. They ran the quarantine and isolation facilities. They were in the hospitals, and they played a hand in keeping people safe and saving lives. So to celebrate that, right? This liberation was really a celebration of persevering through our faith and all of that. Mm-hmm. To have played a direct role in that, really, it meant something special. You could see it in their step. You could see it in the posture. They're walking tall, standing proud. And it was a little more meaningful to know that this is just my opinion, but these soldiers and airmen who did what they did for the past couple of years were kind of like the liberators of our time, right? They helped us be free from this oppressive thing. It shut down businesses and took lives. Granted, it's not anywhere near as violent, deadly, catastrophic as our original liberators back 78 years ago. But in a sense, right, that's the role that we filled recently, was to liberate us from the pandemic. So we couldn't be more proud of them. We know they carry that esprit de corps, like you said, because they know they make a difference. And like I said, Jason, it was just our complete honor to be out there representing our people and the people who went before us, right? Back in those days, there was the Guam militia.
I gotta tell you, Cap, I mean, I've covered that parade so many times. I've been involved, you know, I marched in it as a member of the Simon Sanchez High School Junior ROTC unit. I was in color guard for 4 straight years, and it was an unbelievable honor. But I mean, you could just see, and I like how you said, you know, they were snapping to, they were walking tall, you know, they were carrying the fact that they've got the U.S. flag and the Guam flag, you know, and their unit badges on their persons. they just carried so much pride, and to hear them, call out the cadence and, just be able to represent themselves, and also to exhibit, what they do. And they're like, hey, we're out here marching on the street, but we want each and every one of you along the parade route to know that we are here and we have your back. And that was amazing to see.
Right. It just gives me goosebumps thinking about it, because they deserve every round of applause they got, every shout out that they got, every biba that they got. They put in their time. They sacrificed for quite some time now. And it just, like I said, it brings chill to me to know that it was well-deserved and hard-earned.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I do want to say something and maybe ask and maybe talk about this, Cap, because one thing I really did notice, maybe a little bit more than liberation parades in the past, is that almost every unit, especially like with the heavy metal that you guys rolled out, all the mechanized units, they had a very strong presence that was saying, there are career opportunities in the Guam Guard. Let us know if you have a calling to serve and defend your nation and your island. Let us know. Get in contact with us and everything. We've had you on the show before talking about recruitment efforts. Where are we right now? And did that make an impact on the rest of the people that were along the parade route? Because it certainly did to me. I was like, wow, man, I'm amping right now. Like I really want to do what I can to support the Guard.
Well, thanks, Jason. And I got the number to the recruiter. If you want to give him a call after this, you're more than welcome.
Sure.
We could use a few good people in the PAO office too.
Hey, it's a great trip to go down to the GCIC building, man.
Yeah, they're there. There's also a recruiting outlet in the Camacho Landmark building in Tamuning. And we're all over Facebook and Instagram too. So just drop us a line. Recruiting is an ongoing effort forever and ever. This is a part-time force that comes in and serves their time, whether it's 6 years at a time, or some people make it all the way to retirement. But, there's a rotation that we always have to fill as people leave, move on, go to active duty, or whatever the case may be. There's always slots available. And there is a nationwide trend of needing to fill some spots. So that's also true for Guam. Traditionally, we haven't had much of a problem with recruiting, just because we have that patriotism here, right? Speaking of Liberation Day, we know our history. We know what it means to have these freedoms that we enjoy. So folks are willing to participate and do their part and raise their hand. I don't foresee that we're going to have much of a problem with recruiting, but it's always a need. If this is something that you ever wanted to do, please check us out. Any of those places that we said, or, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, just drop us a line, talk to a recruiter, and come on and serve. We'll be happy to have you.
Now, I remember the last time I had you here in studio, not on Zoom like we are today, but we were talking about the Space Force. And I absolutely love the fact that there was a Space Force unit, again, marching proud, representing the newest branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. What was that like? And did you get any feedback from those airmen?
Yeah, it's a new and exciting field. We have a brand new Space Control Squadron, which has a new name now. Forgive me for not knowing the newest name. But yeah, you're right. They basically deal with protecting the skies above the skies, right? There's satellites, there's communications, there's interference that they track. They can do all kind of cool cutting edge things that it's new to the Guam Guard for sure. And it's the new frontier that's going to have new and expanding roles as we move forward. So a lot of our airmen who went over to the space unit came from the Air Guard, right? And there's a lot of opportunities to do new things. So if you're IT savvy, tech savvy, you like that kind of stuff, there's not going to be any shortage of innovative things to do coming up here real soon in our future. For the past 20 years, Jason, the military was really focused on, they call it COIN, counterinsurgency, or like counterterrorism stuff in Iraq and Afghanistan. But moving forward, a little strategy for you, we're moving into this thing called MDO, which is multi-domain operations. There's air, sea, land, space, and cyber. So there's a refocus on some of these new, tech industries and some of these cutting edge domains that are just going to be more and more relevant moving forward. So yes, lots of new opportunities. There's always going to be room for infantry. You're going to have to march somewhere and punch some bad guys in the face, but we're all going to add some technical things and some new, interesting, innovative things for that as well. For people.
Yeah, the colonel, last time we was here, the colonel was actually saying, this is the new battlefield. Cyberspace. This is a new avenue that we are going to have to understand, that we are going to have to protect, and we are going to have to fight to control.
It's already here. You can see it in the news when there's shutdowns or hacks or distributed denials of services. Sorry, I'm getting kind of technical, but I know you know what I'm talking about. There's these things that are already happening that can affect our critical resources, not just in the military, but in the private sector with our infrastructure that all relies on information technology. So not just to fight the wars, but to defend the homeland. This cyber domain and the space domain is going to be more and more important.
And, of course, the U.S. has like many, many partners. Of course, like we've got very strong ties, obviously, with the British military and, like our friends in several European countries and, all over the world and everything. But, the U.S. military takes a backseat to no one and everything. So like they are the best trained, the most motivated, and focused on the mission of some of the best service men and women in the world.
In history, yeah, you're right. It's exciting to be a part of that. But I'll tell you, though, what you're talking about is those force multipliers, like relationships. Relationships really do matter, not just amongst ourselves and with the people here of Guam, but our allies in the region, because you can't really do anything well just on your own, as well as you can do it in a team. So one of the things about the Guam Guard, Jason, you may not know, is that we have a state partnership program. Every National Guard has one for every state, but we're state partners with the Philippines. So we do these subject matter exchanges. We go and exchange ideas, tactics, procedures, best practices, and things like that. And, we're looking to expand that. There's a possibility that, it may expand our state partnerships with a place like Palau, possibly in the future. So, we're a part of that network. We're a part of those relationships that we have to build in the region. And it makes sense for us, right? Because we live here. We're the permanent party here. Whatever these, bad actors in the region that everyone talks about, it's our region, So this is the role that we play in the Guard. And we got to say that we're proud to be making a difference as much as we can.
Beautifully said, Cap. Now, I do want to pedal back to something you were saying a few moments ago, and I think that analogy you used of, the members of the Guam Guard who administered vaccines, who took care of people during the pandemic era and everything like that, so critical, and they will be remembered in our island's history as, you call them liberators, but certainly, not to the extent that the Marines did back in July 21st, 1944. But I love how you make that illustration. Yeah. Do you know, because I know, no soldier serves, to get medals and ribbons and everything like that. But I mean, it's also nice to have. I mean, it's, it's a motivational tactic, right? Do you have any indication that that anybody that wore the uniform and, helped pass out vaccines or medical staff, is there going to be like some sort of ribbon that will signify like the way they served during this era?
We have a Guam Commendation medal that most of our soldiers and airmen have received because of what they've done for the past couple of years. Pretty sure we got almost everyone. There was about 400, which is a lot to go through. And if we haven't gotten you yet, we're going to circle back and catch up to you. But the Guam Commendation Medal is an award that the JTF soldiers and airmen got. And it's a real special thing that doesn't happen very often to service of our island. So yeah, that's one of the ways, in addition to their self-pride that they can take away, knowing that they saved a lot of untold lives, for sure.
It's kind of like how you meet any soldier, any sailor, any Marine, any airman, like who served during the Vietnam conflict. And if they have that Vietnam service ribbon, you immediately know, and they've got this brotherhood that, that us civilians will just never understand. So for Guam Guardsmen to be recognized, with that distinction, I think speaks volumes.
Yeah, Jason, boy, when I see that Vietnam vet ribbon and the hat, I bend the knee, man. Those guys and girls, they had it rough. They really sacrificed in an environment that probably wasn't as supportive as what we enjoy now. So hats off, bend the knee. And, here in the Guam Guard, just like everywhere else, we're not perfect. I'm kind of wary of veteran worship sometimes because we have our flaws too, just like everyone else. But for what it's worth, yes, we're surrounded by people who chose to raise their hand and step up in a time of need. And just that alone, with our flaws included, is probably worth the thanks. So thanks to all those served. To the families too that sacrifice along with them. And there's even employers that make sacrifices too when we have to stop working and come and serve. So thanks to all of the above.
Absolutely. No. Now, of course, we are by no means through the pandemic era. And even some people would say, we actually talked to Dr. Nathaniel Berg, who, by the way, he himself is a distinguished retired Army vet. He was a major when he got out of the Army.
Yeah, I saw that. I just got some memorized on. I saw his promotion certificate on the office. I was like, "Hey, sir," I didn't know.
But he was telling us, and he goes, you can classify what we're going through right now with, with coronavirus around our community as a surge. So that being the case, what is the Guards, because the mission hasn't ended, right? But what is the Guards' involvement right now to make sure that our people still do what's right and still take care of themselves and each other?
Sure. So earlier this month, we officially stepped back. We retrograded from all JTF operations. And moving forward, we do our part as members of the community to do things like keep each other safe. I went and hung out with my family a couple of weeks ago, and I was careless. And I circled back and said, look, I got symptoms. Hey, you know what? We need to remind each other just to be wearing our masks to protect our elders. Some of my aunties are a little immunocompromised, and it was a reminder that we don't have to be on duty to be helping each other. We could just look out for each other. The governor's policies right now is for us to be able to take care of each other instead of the mandates. And I think that's a good way forward because we know what to do. We know how to look out for each other, keep each other safe. If you're at risk, keep an extra eye on yourself and the people around you. And let's try to show that, we don't need to have the mandates to be able to do the right thing for each other.
Absolutely. So the work never ends. The mission never ends. And if there is an end in sight, the Guam Guard is going to make sure that it completes this mission and do the job until it is done to absolute completion.
Right, Jason. And our motto is always ready, always there. So if we need to get called back up and do whatever else, we'll be there.
All right. So that being the case, I want to give you one more chance to let the community know, there are a cajillion things that you could do, in the U.S. military, whatever your background is, and now like with Space Force, you may be a little bit more on the techie side. I remember you and I are roughly the same age, but when you grew up, it's like, okay, you're physically fit. You want to be an infantryman because my uncle was in the infantry, my Nina was in the infantry. But now if you're on, the tech side, if you work with hardware, if you work with software, if you're like a chemistry person, there is a way that you could serve your country and your island, right?
Tons of ways. Just in the Guard alone, which doesn't have the full complement of jobs like active duty does. We have doctors, lawyers, RNs. We have all kinds of things that you can go and get paid to do, like your industry certifications for IT, things like Net Plus, Sec Plus, all of these things that out in town cost a lot to either get the degree or get the certification. Not only can you do it here in the Guard, but you can get paid to get that education and those certifications. So all the way, like you said, from infantry, all the way up to these white collar professions. My recommendation is you can go Google it, or you could just hit me up on Instagram, social media, Facebook, or talk to one of our recruiters, and you can see for yourself all the different opportunities that we have.
Okay, Cap, I'm a little bit on the older side right now, but I've got the haircut. I've already got the high and tight.
You do.
Could I still be considered? Is there something that I could do at this point in my career to help the Guard?
I know you could do it all, Jason, but I'm not letting you get away from here without being public affairs. I need some help, and you'll be sitting right here with me.
Hey, okay, set up well, I see you've got another chair in the background and everything like that. So, maybe.
That's yours. I got your name on it, ready, anytime.
Hey, a chance to work with you, plus take care of the country, take care of the island and everything like that. It leaps off the page. So, Captain Mark Scott with the Guam National Guard, we thank you for your service, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you too, Jason. Have a good one.
All right. I'm glad to know you're okay, man. Please stay tuned. Everybody. The Hotspot
will return right after this.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be with Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the Hub on KUAM News Hotspot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Lunches, snacks, Yeah, diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk. Gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check GuamChildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
GuamChildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
We're serving up lunchtime giveaways with Uno Go throughout the month of July on KUAM News Hotspot. Watch us live on KUAM TV 8 or any device at 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday for the daily foodie trivia question. Share your answers in the comments on the Facebook live stream or by sending us a direct message via the KUAM News or Uno Go Guam Instagram accounts. Correct answers will be placed into a random weekly drawing for the Uno Go credit of $25. No purchase necessary. Must be a Guam resident or registered Uno Go user to win. Visit uno-go.com or download the app to register and get food delivered to your home or office today. It's Feed Me Fridays on KUAM News Hotspot. Good eats, good company, and beyond good chow. With Team KUAM checking out Guam's most tantalizing, tempting menu items every Friday on KUAM News Hotspot or stream online. Brought to you by Devondale, real milk from free grazing cows.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the hub on KUAM News Hotspot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
It's Feed Me Fridays on KUAM News Hotspot. Good eats, good company, and beyond good chow. With Team KUAM checking out Guam's most tantalizing, tempting menu items every Friday on KUAM News Hotspot or stream online. Brought to you by Devondale, real milk from free grazing cows.
Lunches. Snacks. Yeah, diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk, gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check GuamChildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
GuamChildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
We are back and the hotspot continues, and my buddy Landon Aidlet with the National Weather Service just flew in, and boy are his arms tired. I've always wanted to say that. So Landon literally is back, and he joins us now in the KUAM News Zoom room. At least he's laughing at my joke. At least somebody did out there. So Landon, I can't believe you're not jet lagged at this point. So thank you for giving us some of your time. You have crossed like at least 10 time zones to be with us today on the hotspot. So how the heck are you doing, my friend?
Well, it's nice to be talking to you all today, and not from an airport, not from a United Airlines lounge or a waiting room. So this is a unique experience for me. So it's great to be back. Good to be back on islands. And yes, my arms are sore. It was a lot of flying. And I got in just a little bit before 2 o'clock this morning. So it's been a a long day already, and here I am at the office. I'll be here probably till later this evening, working on a number of things, catching up like crazy to a lot of missed emails and stuff over the last several weeks, but travels resume next week.
Okay, well, don't even have like a coffee cup at this point. Just take like the whole pot and just be chugging off that thing.
Yeah, speaking of the coffee, I don't know where I've not even had time for my coffee yet, so I'll get to that after this.
Okay, well, while you were gone, I'm sure your colleagues have briefed you and gotten you up to speed on exactly what was happening. The weather's been kind of hot, but then also really, really rainy. By the way, happy belated birthday and happy Liberation Day, which were
yes,
that day was crazy.
Absolutely, thank you very much. I was watching this stuff on social media with the heavy weather, and so we saw those showers and thunderstorms come up right to Guam during the parade time. So it looked like several areas of Guam got a good amount of heavy rainfall. Looks like Tumon got the bulk of it. Tumon, Central Guam, near the airport here at the office. But Agana, the parade route, Marine Corps Drive, just did get spared of the worst of it. So I think the rainfall totals were significantly less in Agana boat basin area than what they were in Tumon and up here in Barragata. So that was the good news. And I don't think I heard any reports of thunder or lightning. So that's also good news for the many people there at the parade.
Yeah, I think there was a thunderstorm warning from our friends at Civil Defense. They were saying you'd just be on the lookout for, but fortunately nothing from where I was, and I was up and down the parade route. I mean, it did not dampen the spirits of the Guam people whatsoever. I mean, yeah, we got rained on, our clothes wound up weighing, maybe 3 pounds heavier than what they normally were, but I mean, we all gathered and we had a blast. We wish you could have joined us.
That is definitely good news, and I hope to be here next year for the Liberation Day festivities. So I will definitely look forward to that. Where I was last week, it was sunny, hot, and dry the entire week. Hardly a cloud in the sky. It was right around 100 degrees every day, but it was a dry heat, so it wasn't quite so oppressive as what we have over here. But it was beautiful weather. In my terms, pretty boring last week in Kansas City. But we got a lot more weather coming at us this week here on Guam. If you were outside this morning, you notice it feels pretty wet out there. Let me turn my camera around right quick, and I'll show you our social media post that was posted yesterday. We have a lot of action in the region. So right now, not too much near Guam and Saipan, but sitting to our east, we have a conglomeration of upper level disturbances, a touch cell down there near south of Pohnpei and Chuuk, another one to our northeast. And those are help propagate some of these showers and thunderstorms to be a little bit more heavier in nature. All that stuff's moving our way. So I'm going to turn right over to our visible satellite imagery. Now that I'm in my office, I have a lot of more access to great loops and animations and stuff for y'all to watch. Yeah, we have.
You're a kid in a candy store, man.
Yes, it's great to be back here and not on the internet. So much better. We have, if you're looking out to our east, we see dark clouds and showers sitting just offshore. That's going to be scraping across the eastern parts of Guam. Not everybody's going to see the showers with that one. It's going to keep just offshore with the heaviest stuff, but we could probably see a couple lightning strikes, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder with the system as it starts to push off towards the southwest. But farther to our east, there's so much more out there. And again, this is nothing organized in the sense of a tropical disturbance or a tropical depression. This is just a large conglomeration of showers and thunderstorms with a broad surface trough that's eventually going to push its way over there. So if you look down at the low levels, you see a little bit of a cyclonic curvature, which means those winds are flowing in a slight curve kind of counterclockwise. And that's what we want to see for any kind of a developing cyclone. But again, this is not a closed low-level circulation. This is more of a surface trough. But when you combine the surface trough with the upper level atmospheric conditions, you get a lot of showers and you get a lot of thunderstorms. And this is all going to be pushing our way over the next 48 hours. So get ready for a wet couple days ahead of us. Again, nothing organized in the sense of a numbered tropical depression, a tropical disturbance, nothing by name. So that's the good news. And we are watching it closely for any kind of development. But right now, expectations are very low for any formal development of the system. So showers, thunderstorms, and periods of gusty winds over the next couple of days as it moves through. And let me add on to that gusty wind aspect. This is our polar orbiting satellite showing those winds at the surface. This is part of the eastern flank of that showers and thunderstorms. So here's Pohnpei down there, and Chuuk is right over here. But you notice those yellows. When we see these types of patterns, the winds are overall fairly light to moderate, but you get these bursts of stronger winds. This is the yellows right there is 20 to 25 knot winds, probably some gusts up to 25 to 30 knots. So when you see these convective systems, the winds may be calm for the most part, but you can get bursts of convection and stronger gusty winds with these situations. So watch out for that. We do have gusts up to 25 miles per hour in our forecast the next couple of days. So keep that in mind if you're going to be outside. When you see those dark clouds start rolling in, go ahead and brace for a period of heavy showers and gusty winds, especially on the lead up to these showers and thunderstorms. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center.
Quick point of clarification, Landon. When you say heavy showers, are we looking at like really, really heavy downpours that last maybe like 40 minutes, maybe in an hour, or are these like, like the kind of like 10 and 15 minute variety, but we'll get really, really rained on and then it'll just go away for a little while?
Yeah, this is probably about a 10 to 20 minute variety. So it's not going to be a widespread all day type event. It's going to be episodic in nature. So that is the good news. We don't expect, we don't expect the long duration rain event. Think back to August 27th, 2020, where we had upwards of 10 to 15 inches of rain across parts of Guam over the period of 6 to 8 hours. This is not going to be that event, but it's going to be episodic in nature, and the showers will be briefly heavy at times. So we're looking at our 5-day rainfall totals by the two different models. We're looking at 1.5 inches of rain through Saturday night here for Guam and 3 inches for Saipan. But another model says 1 3/4 inch of rainfall by Saturday evening, with another model showing 2 1/4 for Saipan. So not too much rainfall over the next 5 days based on these models, but keep in mind with some of these showers, if you have a 15 to 30 minute period of heavy showers, most of that rainfall could happen in that 30-minute period. So this is wet season. This is the time of the year where the showers will dump locally heavy amounts. So always keep that in mind. Slow down if you're driving on the streets, but also make sure your tents, canopies, and tarps are well secured at least.
And probably a very, very low likelihood of us ever developing like any flooding situations, I'm hoping.
Yeah, that we're not looking at too much of a flood potential with this one, but of course that could happen. We're in a very dynamic situation with the upper level pattern, very favorable for our conditions, as well as that surface trough pushing through. So it will be wet. It's not going to be all day clouds and rain. We will see peaks of sunshine, so that'll still be around. But again, episodic in nature, periods of showers and thunderstorms, and brief periods of gusty winds, at least through Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, because you are the man when it comes to weather, right? Everybody, all of our friends at the NWS, you guys are, learned experts on weather. I want to kind of ask you to go outside your comfort zone, right? Because I know you're a meteorologist, not an entomologist, right? You don't study bugs. But when we have these periods of like very short, bursty, intense rains, and then it gets really hot again, you get these like little gnats that come out, and there's like, tens of thousands of them. And they're the dumbest creatures on God's green earth, right? They swarm, they fly, on my arm, in my eye, down my ear, up my nose. I hate you, insects. These are the worst things. Is there any correlation between why when it rains and then it gets hot, these gnats come out in droves?
Oh my gosh, that's a very good question. I would recommend you talking to top-end pest control, my friends Ken Williams or even Ross Miller, Dr. Ross from the Guam Territorial Band. I think he does deals with bugs. They would have a good answer for you, because I know what you're dealing with, and it's like one of those situations. You're talking to people outside at a barbecue, and you get one in your mouth.
Yep,
it's not fun.
I've gotten like 40 in my mouth. And they do not make barbecue taste better. I mean, they are a little bit salty, but that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I do not like those at all. And so I try to avoid being outside, especially on the motorcycle, because they will get in your helmet and stuff. And then I've had it happen. They get in your ears and stuff with the helmet on, and that is not fun. So watch out for that. But usually it's around dusk, so you can kind of ballpark when to avoid those.
Yeah, I can only assume that it has something to do with the fact that, we get these sudden rains and maybe they get displaced, because it happens around, like if you're near big bushes or trees or, jungle areas and everything. And then all of a sudden they come out when it turns hot again. So, I mean, there's got to be something with like a change in humidity, I would think.
Yeah, the other thing is calm winds. So when the winds are down low, it's near calm, it gets very sticky. Those flies are free to roam about, versus when you have the windy season pattern, you have strong trades, and it kind of just blows everything out. So the winds will be pretty light the next several days. So again, light, but with periods of gusts with those showers. Likewise on the seas, not that bad out on the water. We're looking at combined seas of 3 to 5 feet if you can be out fishing. The surf will be moderate risk of rip currents along east-facing reefs, about 3 to 5 foot surf, and lesser surf amounts across south, north, and west-facing reefs. So really not a bad time on the water, but your main threat's going to be the moderate risk of lightning. So keep that in mind if you're going to be out on the water the next couple of days.
Okay, and now of course here on Guam we have like it's kind of like a Guam old wives' tale, right? You know, to use a very crass like a manner of speak. People say when there's a storm coming, some people get like they get aches in their knees, or their backs start to hurt. Of course, your dogs go crazy and everything. What is your personal like little thing, just hairs on the back of your neck that you can tell when a storm is coming? It's because of the pressure drop.
Well, I hear that a lot about aches and pains and stuff, especially like if you have a broken arm. I've got a broken arm from many years ago, and it really doesn't bother me unless it's like a long duration event. Like when I'm back in the States and we're looking at maybe 3, 4, 5 days of cloudy, damp weather, yeah, my arm will be aching for quite a while. Now, I tell people, a lot of people Facebook me out here when we have a depression or disturbance moving through that, oh yeah, I knew it was going to be raining outside because my arm's hurting. I say, well, can you give me a 2 or 3 day notice before it starts? And that would be a great forecast.
You guys do such a fantastic job with your social media, right? Do you guys need any help with, because people can DM you directly and you guys get right back to them and everything? That is a ton of work, and the more you come on this show, you're just going to scale up the amount of communication and connection and reach that you have to the community. Do you guys need any help, when you always talk about career opportunities at the NWS, from young people with social media savvy?
Yeah, we're always looking for summer interns. Let me go to our webpage right quick. We're always looking for summer interns to join us. We have like 1 or 2 spots every summer. So we definitely want more of a local representation. So if people are interested in math, science, and technology or weather, consider applying with usajobs.com and applying for the position here at our office, because we want to get more people in the building. And again, we have 3 interns this summer here at our office, one from New York City, one from Oklahoma, and another guy from Simon Sanchez High School. And so we have a great representation. We really want to get somebody from CNMI maybe next year. And I have a couple projects in mind for somebody from CNMI that would be very specific to the area. But if you see something in the world of weather, especially in our region, like a storm or damage, or you hear of lightning or flooded streets, send us a message on Facebook, because we want those reports from the street. We want to know what's going on out there in the community, because I can't be everywhere. My staff members cannot be out everywhere. And usually if the weather is heavy and crazy, we're focused on our computers trying to put out the information. But the storm reports that come into our webpage, our email, our Facebook page, that is so critical, so we can know exactly what's going on out there. So if you want to do that, do include the photo or video, if it's safe to take that, your name, your location, and time. That would help us pinpoint the location of all these occurrences. So definitely send us those local storm reports, because we do file those and record those into our records. So that would be a great way to get in touch.
Networking effect, right? Like, and each
That's
of the
correct.
mayors do this in the villages, to report crimes. GPD does this. And I just had Captain Mark Scott with the Guam National Guard on the show right before you, and he was saying, we want that force multiplier effect.
That's exactly it, the force multiplier. And so go to our homepage, weather.gov/GUM. And if you see something, click that green tab right there, submit a storm report. It's like a Google document. You just fill out the information, you can submit the information to us, and then we get that email alert. So this is our homepage, and that green tab right below our map, just click on that, and that'll give us a storm report. And so we do want to hear from you, whether you're on Guam or across the CNMI, because the more reports we have, the better, especially if it's very timely as it's happening.
There you go. And of course, you are a guy who is very data driven. So, you and I are speaking the same love language when it comes to getting these reports, getting numbers, getting, community fed stuff. So I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, that would be great. And so social media, that's something I've been very passionate about for a number of years, and having that quick response rate to people when they send us emails, I think that's an extra addition to our customer service. And of course, government-wide, the National Weather Service and NOAA is ranked as one of the higher ranked agencies in the United States federal government for customer service. And, that's what we go for. If you call our phone, somebody will answer, but not today. Our phones are down as of the last half hour, so we're troubleshooting. But otherwise, give us a call and we will always take your call.
Well, Landon, that works for you, because I know your work day so far has been like 70 hours long. So I'm going to let you go, because I know you got a very, very well-deserved nap. And, we're glad to see you back. Welcome home, and happy belated birthday once again.
Yes, thank you very much, Jason, and see you all next week.
Okay, have a nice siesta, because you've earned it with all the frequent flyer miles you put on in the last week. That's Landon Outlet, everybody from the National Weather Service. This is the Hotspot, and we will continue right after this. Okay, so here we are, and now here is week 2 of our canvassing series, where our Daniel Perez headed down south to find out what residents thought about the issues.
Island residents know the struggle of having to wait in line for hours just to get their licenses renewed. From business licenses, tobacco licenses, and driver's licenses, the wait time can be ridiculous. Jay, who owns Buenos Market in Jutnya, hopes that candidates seeking a seat in the next administration could address this long-standing problem should they be elected.
So, if they can, I know it's even government is more generations are going to change. Even they don't, they're smart. So more activated by internet, by website, we can change it to like a license, something like a health certificate, or something like a tobacco license. If, of course, they need the inspection, it's okay if they okay. You can apply it by internet, and then you can get them more easier and save time and save money.
While technology provides new solutions, some older problems still persist, like cracks and bumps in the roads.
Road condition is bad. I don't know who will be next, governor or something. Please provide good road condition. Even raining hard, oh my God. I don't know which lanes I'm driving though. So good road condition, even lane, is making more safety for the driver.
Another voter who has driven on these roads before is Edwin Canazza. He runs Coconut Corner in Fort Soledad and wants issues addressed both on land and at sea.
The marine life here is real rich down in the south, and we need more from the agriculture if they can provide to the fishermen and the well-being of it.
Canazza says he hopes that candidates look beyond their desks to reach all of Guam from the north to the south. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
All right, from the world of island business, there is good news for our friends at First Hawaiian Bank, as the lending institution's Tamooning branch is now reopened and ready to resume business. The company had previously temporarily suspended operations after they had to shift staff details, with multiple employees out sick and others on vacation, in order to properly staff their Dedido and IT branches. That's right next to us here in Harmon. But they are all ready and back up to operational tempo now. So congratulations to our friends at First Hawaiian Bank. Once again, the Tamooning branch opened at 9 a.m. today, ready for your financial business. Former utility workers from our island's public sector did gather on Saturday at the Dedido home of Guam Power Authority veteran lineman Joe Kinata, as his family hosted a Liberation Day reunion fiesta for retirees, many of whom have not seen each other in many, many years. Rick Umpinko previously served as GPA's general manager, and customer service manager Bill Kitsutsu were among those who joined the festivities on Swamp Road with food, music, laughter, lifelong friends, and endless stories who never get old. So thank you very much to Joe Canazza for tipping us off to that and sharing those pictures with us. Great job, and congratulations, GPA retirees. And the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force Band was recognized for their participation in this year's A Chamorro Symphony production. President of the Guam War Survivors Foundation, Senator Frank Blas Jr., explains.
On behalf of the Guam War Survivors Memorial Foundation, the Meningan Memorial Foundation, the people of Guam, most especially the ones that you have touched their hearts and you've given them reminders, are war survivors. Okay, those are our greatest generation. I'd like to present to you a simple, small token of our appreciation. We want to present you with this certificate. Thank you very, very much.
The band provided the foundation with pre-recorded sessions of their musical numbers as a tribute to Guam's World War II survivors. We're going to share part of their performance, which you have to see right after the show. Please stay tuned. There is much more coming up on the Hotspot right here.
It's Feed Me Fridays on KUAM News HotSpot. Good eats, good company, and beyond good chow. With Team KUAM checking out Guam's most tantalizing, tempting menu items every Friday on KUAM News HotSpot or stream online. Brought to you by Devondale, real milk from free grazing cows.
Lunches, snacks. We got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk, gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check GuamChildCare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
GuamChildCare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the hub on KUAM News Hotspot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
All right, everybody, Brad Pitt is now going to share tips for looking good. Easy for him. And what do George Clooney and U2 have in common this year? Here's more on the Entertainment Report.
George Clooney gets a starring role at this year's Kennedy Center Awards. The actor will be honored for influencing American culture through the arts. Other honorees at the December gala will include the Irish rock band U2, as well as singers Gladys Knight and Amy Grant. Brad Pitt hit red carpets in Europe this week promoting his new movie, Bullet Train.
I'm gonna hurt people.
Set on a high-speed train crossing Japan, Pitt plays a hired gun fighting a range of assassins. Asked how he maintains his good looks, the actor had this to share.
I would say I eat well, but I don't. I would say I meditate, but not really. I would say I got a lot of lovely people in my life and I stay creative.
Bullet Train's global release is set for early August. And after a 2-year hiatus, thousands of fans packed the opening day of the pop culture extravaganza known as Comic-Con. The 4-day festival got underway in San Diego, and costumed fans say they're thrilled to be back.
This was a tradition I had, and then I brought my wife on our first date to Comic-Con, so it's a very special thing for us.
The celebrity panels include Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson promoting the upcoming Black Adam. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, everybody, we hope you enjoyed watching today's live stream as much as we did bringing it to you. Man, we had a packed show today. We brought you a little bit of everything. We had a little bit of military news, talk about how you can serve your country. We had some science and some weather information, and we had a 10-second live shot from the field. So we really appreciate you watching, and now we are going to leave you with a performance from the Military Expeditionary Force Band. Enjoy the music and enjoy the rest of your Monday.